Brad, it's so good to have you in Nature's Newsroom. First of all, introduce yourself, who you are, what you do.
I'm Brad Ack. I'm the executive director of an organization called Ocean Visions, which is a broad partnership of science, academia, investors and inventors and others who bring the power of technology and engineering to craft solutions to big problems.
Brad, what was your COP mission, your COP26 mission? What did you come here to do?
We came here to put ocean-based carbon dioxide removal on the map at COP. Carbon dioxide removal itself is a critical part of our climate stabilization plans. We're way behind on taking out the sort of carbon mess that we've created, and the power of the oceans beckon as one of the real opportunities to remove carbon quickly and safely.
Mm-hmm. This idea of harnessing the power of the oceans, can you be a little bit more explicit about how they could do that?
Yeah, so the oceans already serve as the planet's largest global carbon cycle. There's about 50 times more carbon at the bottom of the ocean than there is in the atmosphere. That happens through biological and geological processes that are slow. If we can accelerate any of those processes, emphasize, accentuate them, mimic them, we might be able to actually make a substantial dent in the carbon pollution that's choking the planet.
What technology is available to what technology is available to make that happen?
Well, they're all in the developmental phase, but think about, for example, seaweed. Growing very large quantities of seaweed is the equivalent of 1 trillion trees. Seaweed doesn't burn, so we don't have to worry about it burning up in forest fires, and it fixes carbon very quickly. It doesn't require land. Alternately, you can also use more geologic methods like interacting alkaline material, let's think of limestone, which is a natural process, with seawater, results in the production of bicarbonates that safely move carbon to the bottom of the ocean.
So this tech is not proven yet. It's not really in place yet. It's a climate emergency. Isn't this too late?
Well, we are all too late, yes. All right, but that doesn't mean that we can't move quickly to test and develop these technologies. So the foundation of the technology is there.
How quickly?
Need attention.
How quickly, Brad?
The next 5 to 7 years. The IPCC calls for 100 to 1,000 gigatons of carbon removal by the end of the century. 100 to 1,000. 1,000 gigatons is 1 trillion tons of carbon. So while it may take a little bit of time to ramp up, we have to be ramped up to be removing 10 gigatons a year by 2050, probably earlier, right? We are late, you're absolutely right, but we have to move forward.
Finally, who's we?
We is a global collaborative of government, of civil society, of scientists, inventors, investors, entrepreneurs, communities.
Can't really afford to fail, right?
Well, we have already failed, unfortunately, in addressing the climate crisis. We've lost things that we'll never get back. We have to stop the bleeding. And while decarbonization remains ultimately critical, we also have to clean up the mess. The equation is simple. There's too much carbon in the atmosphere. Turn off the tap, clean up the mess.